Hi, Human Aspects of Cybersecurity class. I'm Chris Duffy, and I'll be representing Stephen Manderson, Emmanuel Wilkes, and myself for our term paper, a quick overview of our term paper, Social Media's Responsibility in Combating the Spread of False Information. So the main idea in the introduction here is that there's a whole lot of people who use social media. In America, it's something like 60% of Americans use social media in order to get news articles and in order to get political information, which has now eclipsed traditional news outlets. So new news media like social media or internet sites is more prevalent than old school news media like newspapers or watching the 6 o'clock news on your television. Um, Now, fake news is an important subject in relation to the 2020 election because it really rose to prominence in the 2016 election. We see a lot of the same actors here. Obviously, President Trump um, was used the buzzword fake news a whole lot. And a whole lot of Americans, 88%, agree that fake news is a reason for confusion regarding events or happenings in the world. Types of fake news. We want to draw a distinction between misinformation and disinformation. This is also the distinction between false news and fake news. What that means is oftentimes people say things that are wrong or incorrect, but it's an accident. That's because they didn't know the correct or more accurate truth, right? Now, disinformation or fake news is intentionally posting the wrong thing in order to trick people. And there's sort of an idea of malicious intent here, right? I am posting propaganda for this thing that I believe in because I want this person to get elected or I want this bill to pass. You can see how problematic that is in politics and how prevalent that has been throughout the years in almost every culture we've ever seen. So the problem statement. Social media algorithms tend to not only not discourage fake news, right? They don't discourage fake news right now, but they actually incentivize it because writers are financially incentivized to get more clicks, get more page views, and get more shares on their stories. That means writing sensationalist news is good. But so that's sort of the crazy factor, right? Because it means creating chaos for the sake of creating chaos because I can profit off of it. And social media is very much like that. With the coronavirus pandemic or with the election year, we see a giant spike in social media use because people are looking to that source to get their information. People are looking to go post information to inform their friends, family, the rest of the world about this idea that they have. So major companies, like in this case, Facebook and Twitter, aren't really incentivized to do anything about fake news because they're actually making more money off of sensationalist articles than they are on vetted and more accurate articles. So our findings. Our findings really come down to a human aspect of this, that users are generally responsible for actually sharing the information that they put on social media, but also that there's this idea of a confirmation bias where a user tends to share the articles that are already representative of the ideals and the ideas that they hold to be true. And telling them, hey, that's not true, is most likely met with them saying, hey, you don't like my ideas and my ideals, so you don't understand. Or in an even more potentially pernicious act, you're trying to censor me. So you're calling this fake news as an attempt to censor. When really what we need is users to take responsibility for vetting their own information before they post it, because everyone cannot be a full-time reporter, which means you either need to stop posting stuff or you need to make a habit of checking it against online fact checkers. And if we were all if we all spoke out to the social media giants and to the online news sources and we said, hey, we would prefer to have more vetted, more accurate articles, and we are going to be engaging with them in order of what we see as accuracy, then social media giants would change immediately because they're going to follow the money. So, in conclusion, fake news spreads very quickly along social media because sensationalist posts tend to interact with the algorithm very well. In the future, we can only expect more fake news to appear because as technology gets better and gets better at spreading, um, disseminating information, it also gets better at spreading propaganda. Now, major companies are going to follow the money trail, which means that really the human aspect of this is that every user needs to be responsible for attempting to post as accurately as possible, but also demanding that their feed is as accurate as possible. So I'm going to be posting this PowerPoint under the discussion post here, so you'll be able to click on it and read all my little factoids and the references that my group used in our paper. Go ahead and comment, ask questions. We'll be getting back to you. And everyone, have a great holiday.